It was April 12, 2024. A U.S. flagged tanker, the Liberty Sun, was pushing west through the Arabian Sea. The view was clear, but the ocean carried a different kind of tension. Piracy is always a risk in these waters. It was supposed to be routine. Steel hull, containers stacked high, engines steady at 18 knots. The crew is aware. Every sailor had been briefed before departure. If you see small boats on the horizon, they're probably not here to fish. And sure enough, mid-ocean, the horizon flickered with shapes. 4, then 6. By the time the captain raised his binoculars, the truth was obvious. This was a well-calculated attempt led by Omar al-Yaqub, who built his legacy on blood, fear, and control of the seas. He was leading boats of armed men, AK-47s, PKM machine guns, and even the unmistakable long tube of an RPG launcher. These were organized raiders, and they were out for blood. This wasn't just another skirmish for the U.S. Navy. It was a battle against a well-armed paramilitary force that ruled the waters like a nation of its own. Aboard the Liberty Sun, Captain Thomas Cook and his 184 crew members understood one thing clearly. This was a fight for survival. The assault unfolded fast. The skiffs fanned out, approaching from multiple angles, a classic pincer maneuver pirates had perfected after years of hunting slow-moving cargo ships like the Liberty Sun. 2 boats veered for the bow, 2 swung wide toward the stern, while the remaining skiffs stayed just far enough back to lay down suppressing fire. A storm was brewing, but not in the skies. It was right there on the water. And then the first shots rang out. Tracer fire ripped across the sea, streaking orange through the haze. The first RPG slammed into the tanker's upper hull, detonating with a dull, echoing boom. Metal groaned. The ship shuddered from the impact, alarms screaming through every corridor. The pirates screamed over the noise, waving their rifles in the air, signaling the crew to stop. But what happened next will shock you. The crew didn't stop. Instead, they locked down. The alarm blared across the ship. Steel doors slammed shut. One by one, sailors raced into the Citadel, the fortified panic rope designed exactly for this nightmare. At 7:03 a.m., the captain sent out a mayday. Possible pirate attack, armed contact. Coordinates transmitting now. From within the Citadel, the crew could hear the pounding on deck, grappling hooks, scraping steel, boots slamming against ladders, pirates talking and shouting in Somali and broken English. The men inside held their breath. They knew help could be hours away, if any came at all. But these pirates had made one critical mistake. The Liberty Sun was American flagged, and that meant one thing. The United States Navy would come. 40 miles away, the USS Gravy, an Arleigh Burke-class destroyer, was already on patrol. She picked up the mayday. Orders came down in seconds. Full speed, intercept course. Engines roared. Sailors ran to battle stations, and above deck, a Navy MH-60R Seahawk helicopter spun to life. Within minutes, the chopper was airborne, slicing low over the waves, its floodlights cutting through the dark. On board, gunners manned their .50 caliber machine guns, eyes locked on the sea. Through the infrared feed, they could see it clearly now. 4 pirate skiffs swarming the merchant vessel, RPG tubes raised. And what happened next will leave you stunned, because the Seahawk didn't hesitate. It swooped overhead, floodlights blazing, loudspeakers blasting across the water. This is the United States Navy. Drop your weapons immediately. For a moment, the sea went silent and the pirates froze for a heartbeat. Then, defiance. One raised an RPG, angling it skyward. Another sprayed his AK-47 wildly. Tracer fire arced toward the helicopter. It missed, but that was the end of their chance. The door gunner squeezed the trigger. The .50 caliber thundered, spitting fire across the waves. Bullets ripped into the lead skiff, splintering wood, tearing through the onboard engine. Smoke poured from the back as the boat shuddered and skidded sideways. Pirates screamed, diving flat to the deck. One toppled overboard, thrashing in the foam. But this was just the beginning. By now, the USS Gravely had closed the firing range. Her 25mm Bushmaster chain gun swiveled into place. With a metallic roar, it unleashed a burst across the bows of the second skiff. The rounds punched into the water, geysers exploding just feet from the pirates. The second burst found its mark. Explosions walked across the bow of another skiff, ripping it nearly in half. The warning was clear: stand down or die. The pirates chose death. One man lifted his PKM machine gun and let loose at the destroyer. His rounds sparked harmlessly off of steel armor, but the answer was immediate. Another burst from the Bushmaster, and he was shot dead on the spot. But what happened next was even more interesting. The destroyer's radar pulsed with returns. 3 skiffs still active, maneuvering wildly. Fast attack craft surged off the side of the destroyer. Ribs, rigid inflatable boats packed with U.S. sailors and Navy SEALs. They raced across the waves like black arrows, gunners at the front, rifles raised. The Seahawks circled above, keeping the pirates pinned with the constant threat of .50 caliber fire. The third skiff tried to break away, its engine screaming. The Navy wasn't letting that happen. A gunner leaned out from a rib and unleashed a burst from an M240 machine gun. The bullets chewed into the fleeing boat. One pirate fell backward, rifle spinning from his hands. Another dropped to his knees, waving frantically in surrender. The boat slowed and then stopped, dead in the water. But the fourth skiff pressed the attack. Its men were determined, shouting, aiming another RPG toward the merchant vessel. The rocket flied through the air and missed, exploding in a plume of spray. But that was the last defiant act that they'd ever make. From the destroyer's deck, a Mark 38 autocannon thundered. The heavy rounds ripped through the pirate craft, tearing it wide open. Water surged in. Within seconds, the skiff was sinking, men leaping into the sea, some trying to swim, others too wounded to move. This is where things escalated. The ribs reached the crippled boats. SEALs vaulted across the gap, rifles raised, flashbangs detonating with ear-splitting cracks. Pirates were dragged down, zip-tied, shoved flat to the deck. AK-47s, RPGs, and boxes of ammunition were kicked into piles. One man lunged for a weapon and was slammed down with a rifle butt to the jaw. Another tried to jump into the water, but a sailor yanked him back, binding his wrists behind him. 10 minutes. That's all it took. 2 pirates dead, several wounded, the rest in custody. The merchant crew, still huddled inside their citadel, emerged to the sight of stars and stripes flying overhead. Navy gunners on deck, and pirates in custody. For them, the nightmare had ended. For the pirates, it was just the beginning. Back aboard the USS Gravely, the captured pirates were searched, photographed, and processed. And there was enough evidence there to prove that it was a professional raiding team, heavily armed and ready to fight to the death. Interrogators confirmed what intelligence had feared. Somali gangs had regrouped, better armed than ever, using motherships to launch attacks deeper into the ocean. The pirates had expected to seize the ship, ransom its crew, and vanish. Instead, they ran into the full force of the United States Navy. The message was crystal clear. The U.S. Navy was ready to eliminate pirates in the Arabian Sea. If you enjoyed the video, remember to subscribe to the channel and let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below.